Yeah, so this is kind of like the high level scenario that I created. It's a little messy, but I just wanted to show you guys different examples of avenues that you can take when creating something for lead generation and speed of lead and getting your new leads on call immediately and contacting them immediately because as you guys may know, if you are contacting like a lead becomes for completely converting a lead, if you contact them within 5 minutes, it's 21 times more likely for them to actually convert into a client for you. So building out something like this can definitely increase your ROI, your revenue, the leads generated, your customer base, and ultimately grow your business, right? So if you guys want this build, just let me know and we can get into the video and I'll show you exactly how this is all set up. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so let's get into make.com. So if you guys don't know what make.com is, it's basically a site where you can do kind of like no code automation. So you can come in here and basically make whatever automations you want with whatever API tools and whatever software you're currently using. So you go in here, go into scenarios, and you will be presented with this page, and then you go to create scenario. So this is kind of like your canvas of how you're going to be creating the kind of workflow. So this is where the original workflow that I showed you guys, this is where I started off as. So let's start just thinking about what our first initial lead contact would start from. So you have various sources. You can have Facebook leads, any form leads, or leads that come in your Gmail. So there's various things that you can kind of set up here, right? So if you wanted to do something like your Gmail, so you can just type in Gmail, and then you can do this like kind of like a webhook thing. And from here, you can wait for an email to come through, and then this connection would present you with. Let me just sign in real quick so I can. So you can do a bunch of things. You can read or write or send emails for you, and this will be able to kind of look at what emails are coming through. So you can also filter, do some filters based on what folder you want the webhook to be looking at, and then you're gonna look at every email that comes through there. And you can also do things like maybe let's think like a Google form perhaps. Um, let's see, Google form. So you can have a Google form that you can fill out, and then so once creates a new form, watch response. So watch responses. Um, Similar idea. So if someone fills out some sort of a form, you would get this scenario going, and then from there you can kind of do a bunch of connections. Let's look at some other options as well. So if some people use Facebook ads as well, so Facebook lead ads, you can use this scenario. So whenever a new lead comes in, this scenario would also be useful for you, right? So if you're using Facebook's form ads platform, it would this would basically allow you to capture all the leads that come through there. So let's just go through this. So after that new lead is coming in, that's basically what the next scenario would be going through. So you have a bunch of things you can actually do from here. You first have to determine if the lead is actually a good lead or if it's kind of like maybe spam or something like that. And there's various ways you can do that. One of the things is actually you can actually use make.com's AI agent here. So what this agent can do is you can choose from different providers. So one second, models. So here models, you can choose from different various models that they have for like reasoning. So when a lead comes in, you can actually look at it and allow the model to evaluate whether that actual lead is a good lead or a bad lead, and then from there you can decide whether you want to do anything with the lead, right? So we can do something very small. So GPT Nano, save that here. So you can give it instructions. So evaluate the Facebook leads and determine whether or not the lead is not spam. So we can start off very simple, and then we can go from there, right? So the input would be ID, and then you can, this is the incoming data or task your agent will work on. You can map values from previous modules here, such as a new agent. So when you have leads coming in from the Facebook ads, you can add it to here. And then you can proceed to evaluate what the text and stuff are, right? You would actually have to fill out the Facebook leads for all the variables to come up, but we can just move on from here. You can also add any info files, maybe like some sort of full-on documentation. That's yeah. So you can also add the knowledge base for your company. So you can upload a file of all your knowledge of your company, and then anything else like common responses or FAQs and things like that. And then based on that, it would either we can actually do a few scenarios here. So once you connect that, you can actually connect Gmail, send an email to that client, and then we can also set up a meeting. So in that also scenario, you can send like Calendly link, get an event, create a new event invitee. So we can also do a Calendly link, send an invitation to someone or something like that. So we have Gmail, Calendly, just based off what this user is scraping, and also you can like reply to the user. You can also add Twilio to send a message, create a message here. So, and then you can just put in your credentials and be able to actually text the user as well. And then from there, you can actually book the user. So after all these runs are done, you can have a link from your calendar, say Google Calendar, have that in there, watch events, search events, get an event. Let's go to list calendars. So you can list whatever's in your calendar, and then also book the user, use the calendar link and book the user into your system, right? So once the calendar link is in and the user is booked, like this can go into your calendar of maybe like calling the user, right? So say if you're asking user to, sorry. So you can also add your Google Calendar here. Like create a calendar. Okay, so we're giving more access, save it. So once that's clear as well, you can use the user's ID email to book into your calendar, so that every time you have a lead coming, you can have the calendar booked almost immediately, and then you can give them a call or follow up almost immediately. But there's another thing that you could also do, which is from here, you can do voice, but also you can also add it to Google Sheets database. So add a row, choose an account, Jegnia, continue, and then you can choose which spreadsheet to use. So I've had a bunch of these ready. What was it called again? Lead database. So we have the lead database here. Let's save it from sheet name, sheet one. Save it here. So now we have a Google Sheet. So the AI, say you pass in an instruction to be like, okay, determine whether it's spam or not, and then put it into the Google Sheet, whatever your decision is, true or false. And then from there, you can use this Google Sheet and kind of watch it. Let me see if I can search it like this. Google Sheet, watch new rows. So whenever a new row comes in for that scenario, if it's a good lead, you can go to retail, get an agent, get a call, create a phone call. So you can go to retail, which is, I'll show you guys retail AI. So it's a voice agent. So basically, it'll be able to actually immediately call the user and ask whatever questions he needs to ask, and qualify the lead even more, and just gather the initial data that would occur for like a consulting call. And from there you can route into an actual human being. So sometimes these things work well, sometimes it doesn't, but depending on what industry you're in, this might be something useful for you to do. And it can all just be facilitated by make.com and just like this whole workflow here. So